Well, let me ask my gilded party panel tonight. He's a Fox News contributor, an Army veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. Pete Hegseth joins me, along with National Review editor, so smart and sassy in equal measure, Rich Lowry. And she's a columnist at The Federalist and author of the brand new book, The Social Justice Warrior Handbook. It's amazing and incredibly funny. Lisa De Pasquale is here. Welcome, everyone.
Hello there.
Rich, I will start with you because the Hillary Clinton part of this and creating some sort of moral equivalence and crying hypocrisy, it's almost too much for my black heart to handle.
Yeah. Now, as you pointed out, Jared shouldn't have been using private email, but he didn't set up a server. He, as far as we know, was not handling classified information. He is not actually formally the Secretary of State who's been in government for decades and should know better. And all those things applied to Hillary Clinton. And the Democrats ignored all these things when they nominated her and nominated a candidate who was under FBI investigation and paid the price.
So, Pete, you know, it's like you look at this, and Hillary Clinton's personal history is littered with bad decisions, that if nothing else, there are some charming lessons in there. How could Jared not know that one simple rule?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you don't want to talk about an official email, then you can text somebody and find some other way. I'm sure there's plenty of that as well. Listen, I'd prefer to defer my time and just roll tape again on your opening monologue. You did nail every aspect of this. This is a corrupt politician.
Flatterer.
I don't usually do that. I usually try to have it out with you, but today I feel like you nailed it.
Oh, Pete.
It's such a corrupt politician, Hillary Clinton, who reinforced that narrative through her actions, reckless actions. As you said, Secretary of State would know better, especially that much time in public office. But Jared Kushner's got to know better, and they're going to go after this with the so-called Russia stuff.
And it's interesting because on social media, if you say anything negative about Hillary Clinton, people come after you, and they're like, why don't you just leave her alone? Because she keeps putting herself out there. She's the one who wrote a book. She's the one who's on a media tour, and she's the one who won't stop harping on all of these issues. How self-aware is she?
I would say on the self-aware meter, she's at a 0.
Yeah.
I mean, and certainly there are things she could be attacking the person she lost to, Donald Trump, on. This is not the right issue for her.
You know, that's a good point. And all she has to do is look where Republicans have taken issue with the president. And that's really where you start.
Yeah.
But this one, because all it does, people aren't dumb. That's why a lot of them didn't vote for her. You know, it's like, I understand she won by 3 million votes, but not where it counted. She didn't win in those states where people saw past those flimsy excuses because they want a better life. They don't want a business as usual establishmentarian. Last word, Rich.
And you look at Al Gore. You know, he lost a heartbreaking race. He went away, he grew a beard, and then he did something else. He did some things I don't necessarily like, but he tried to be a productive citizen as best he could, rather than relitigating the way Hillary is.
Same with Jimmy Carter, building houses.
Of all the issues to say nana and a boo-boo on, for her, it's emails.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Come on, lady. All right, well, speaking of that word that Pete just used that I like but can't repeat, the NFL's national anthem controversy has become a dumpster fire, and today, none other than Hillary Clinton rode in to fan the flames, telling SiriusXM that she found it deeply troubling that the president would be attacking black athletes for expressing their opinions peacefully. Clinton's comments come on the heels of last night's protest by the Dallas Cowboys, who were joined by their team owner, Jerry Jones, as they kneeled before the anthem was played during their game against the Arizona Cardinals. Watch this.
All right, Lisa, and as they take a knee collectively, boos can be heard from this sellout crowd in Arizona.
President Trump quick to address the protest on Twitter, writing, "The booing at the NFL football game last night when the entire Dallas team dropped to its knees was loudest I have ever heard. Great anger." He continues, "But while Dallas dropped to its knee as a team, they all stood up for our national anthem. Big progress being made. We all love our country. But is big progress really being made, or will the national anthem continue to be the national elephant in the room?" Pete, I will start with you. Have the Cowboys figured something out?
Well, the one thing they figured out two things through that. One, separate the protest from the anthem. Pick another time to do it if you want to do it. But it's still going to make you unpopular if you tie it to before or after the anthem. The fan base, patriotic Americans, look at these athletes, black or white, Hispanic, whatever you are, you could be kneeling in solidarity, and they say, stand up. And so that's why I think President Trump has struck a chord. We're having a civic conversation about whether or not we can at least unify around a flag, unify around the fact that we are Americans first, and then we can talk about all the other segmentations and racial politics that the left has played forever. So I love this debate. Let's have it. And let's have it out front from the president, daring the NFL to not, because they've got policies about this on every other part of their policy actually is that you will stand for the anthem, and they're not enforcing that.
No, they're not enforcing that, but you do also have to pick and choose your battles. And we do come to points in our culture and in our politics where we make big paradigm shifts. I don't know if this is one of them. I don't know if it's like the 1968 protests during the Vietnam War, because I'm watching that Ken Burns documentary. It's quite good. But I will say what I would like to see from the people protesting is a set of demands, something that's actually achievable, so at some point they will stand again.
Right.
And I think that's a fair request.
Yeah, well, it's based more on a generalized sense that we live in a racist society with a racist police system. And I do think the Cowboys figured something out here. I'd prefer they take the kneeling off the field altogether, but separating it from the anthem is very important. So I think the kneeling is insipid. I think it's wrong-headed, but it's not offensive and disrespectful the way kneeling during the anthem is.
All right.